Catherine Delahunty.
Mr Chair. Mr Chair, I was on the Select Committee for this bill and I found it a positive experience, and the Green Party has a positive view even though we're opposing it. We are not carping and whining so much as asserting the value of a student loan scheme that doesn't punish people who are already in trouble. That's why we're voting against it. On the Education Select Committee for this bill, there were only 5 submitters, and only 2 of them made oral presentations, and they all made valid points. Everyone was supportive of the extension of the interest-free loans to borrowers from the Pacific and Ross dependency, etc., and for those undertaking full-time overseas study under a New Zealand government-approved formal exchange program, although there was some debate around the detail of that second proposal. However, the New Zealand University Students Association also made some really important points when they appeared before us. As the body representing a large number of students, some of us regard their voice as particularly pertinent to any bill which amends the student loan scheme. I mean, many of us have theoretical or parental interest in how the scheme works, but NZUSA are working in the front line of the effects on students of this credit and debt system. NZUSA supported much of the bill, including the technical amendment allowing borrowers returning to Aotearoa New Zealand who wish to repay their loan before meeting the 183-day requirement for an interest-free student loan to be able to do so. They strongly supported that. They did, however, strongly oppose the Commissioner of Inland Revenue being able to raise the compulsory repayment deduction from the salary and wages of borrowers to 15 cents in the dollar when payments were overdue. And at least the Green Party was part of stopping the Inland Revenue putting penalties on students whom they themselves, IRD, had failed to notify of overdue debt. As NZUSA pointed out, this is the worst possible time, with unemployment and especially youth unemployment and the increasing cost of living, to add extra penalties to people who are indebted. I know some of the Select Committee will never agree with me, but some very poor people aren't lazy and unmotivated. They just don't have enough money to cover all their costs. We have encouraged poorer people to see education as the solution to poverty and to go and get that education. We have made them pay for that education, and now we will punish those who are not able to keep up repayment. And at the end of your study, there is absolutely no guarantee for many people, including women, migrants and refugees, tangata whenua and Pacifica people, let alone students with disabilities, who are the most discriminated against group of people in this entire country in terms of employment opportunity, to get a good paying job that will help them keep up with the level of debt and to have a consistent earning record that will allow them to keep up with their payments and not get overdue. Some of the discussion on the Select Committee expressed a highly punitive approach to the problem of unpaid student debt, which is similar to comments I hear in this House and elsewhere about beneficiaries. There are the good and the motivated, and then there are the bad and the disorganised, and they must be made to pay. This kind of thinking is a result of the scheme itself. It has not only created inequity, but it has exposed inequity. Some of us were able to contribute to some part of our children's educational costs, and some were not. But a loan is a loan and it must be repaid. All of this is inevitably unfair when the core of universality is abandoned in favour of market forces. And the bloodless clue of the 1980s is still framing our education system and its debates, still framing ACC, our health debates and our economy as a whole. There is always one question, Mr Chair, to be asked for each piece of legislation before the House. And that question is, who really benefits? In terms of this bill, it's the Inland Revenue who benefit. And who really cares about the social chaos which ripples outwards for every increase in student debt repayment rates? Therefore, on that basis, we oppose this bill.
Carmel Sepuloni.
Very much, Mr Chair. Now, Mr Chair, I want to touch on something that